Hey everybody, it's your boy SergDragon, and welcome back to another edition of the Heavens Monsters Podcast. With me always is Terrence, aka T-Money.
If you smell what the lion is cooking.
Today we are going to cover Monday Night Raw on November 11th and NXT on November 13th. With a little bit of information of WWE backstage on Tuesday. Yeah, just one little bit. So let's go ahead and start with Monday Night Raw. Starting off the show, we are really getting close with 2 weeks away from Survivor Series, and things are just getting more heated between all three brands. Monday Night Raw is the leading show, the oldest show, which is considered the A show by definition, but for many people trying to prove which show is the best, in this case, for some people, it's iconically who gets the most wins on their brand supremacy. So if Raw gets the most point, it's the A show in their mind. SmackDown, same thing. And the ones that really got a point to prove is NXT. So with that said, who will be the A show by points? Wins. That's what it's called. Wins. Which I already know is voting for Monday Night Raw.
Everybody knows. I already know who. Raw's going to win.
We got to see what happens, though.
Raw's already A show. A show means like he's already number one. So
yeah, it's been the longest. So here we go. We got women's tag team match. We would have the Kabuki Warriors fight off against two members, half of the WWE NXT Horsewomen. Becky Lynch, the Raw Women's Champion, and Charlotte Flair. I guess these frenemies, I thought it was going to be Charlotte Flair and Natalya, but something got changed up. Ultimately, I guess this match would be a rematch to the Kabuki Warriors attacking them before. In which case, in this match, the Kabuki Warriors win the match thanks to, well, you figured, the mist and the outside interference. Right? It would be Shane. If I remember correctly, Bayley showed up and got to kick the head in. No, Shayna Baszler and Bayley showed up. Baszler tried to get in the middle of the match and gave the Kabuki Warriors the means to actually get a pinfall. And Bayley tried to jump Shayna Baszler as a means for payback for her getting jumped on her show SmackDown. But didn't go so well. Bayley got knocked the hell out. And after that, thanks to the fact of Shayna Baszler costing Becky the match, since she was the one that was pinned, she would chase Shayna Baszler. See, that's where the sh came from. But then would be stopped by Bayley, who jumps and knocks out Becky Lynch. Once again, like I said, to show brand supremacy. It's going to be Becky versus Shayna versus Bayley at Survivor Series, and this is just getting heated. I love it. Next up, we would have Drew McIntyre versus Sin Cara. But it says Shin. I got the it all right. Thanks to Shayna Baszler. Sadly, though, courtesy of his 2-loss record against Andrea, doesn't do any good for Sin Cara because he ends up getting claymored in the face by Drew McIntyre to continue his losing streak. That's a question too. Will Drew McIntyre get a title shot sometime in the future? Because he is nonstop. Would you agree? Mm-hmm. Somebody's driving that motorcycle at full throttle. Next up, we have the Singh brothers versus R-Truth. Why was it a 2-on-1? Yeah, it's a 1-on-2 24/7 championship handicap match. That's why. I was wondering about that. Like, wait, is he fighting one or the other? Why is the other one in the ring? That's with the stipulations, but it would end in a no contest. Thanks to the, I think I don't know. I forget how this match ended. It ended in a no contest. It says Eric Rowan. Oh, that's right. Eric Rowan. The match ended up going all the way to the back of the stage, and they tried to hide. And Eric Rowan was in the room talking to something. That's something this thing's not mentioning. Thanks to this, now I remembered. Eric Rowan, for some reason, has a pet that he's talking baby talk to, but no one knows what it is. He'll have a match that he brings that thing to the ring. So we'll get to that in just a bit. Seth Rollins then goes on to fight United Kingdom's champion Walter, because of the fact that he had wanted a match with some of whoever was the best in United Kingdoms, because that's where they are. They're in United Kingdoms right now. They have the United Kingdom flag. And who else but NXT representative.
That's the London flag, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's also a United Kingdom flag, apparently. That's where they are. They go to Scotland, they go to Ireland, they go to Italy, France.
But they don't.
Britain.
They just go to England, bro.
England, yeah.
Yeah, that's one place they go to.
No, why are they saying hometown Becky Lynch? They in Ireland half the time sometimes.
Because I don't know. They
just, that's what I'm telling you.
They mess up sometimes. They mess up.
Well, in Ireland, that's what they said. I was like, hey, Becky's hometown? What the hell?
They mess up.
Well, anyway, the fact of the matter is, Walter, representing NXT, the UK brand, but still NXT, welcomes the challenge, but is also escorted to the ring with his 3 cohorts of Imperium. It's a faction in the UK faction of NXT, and they are dominant. And they bring that brand not just to NXT UK, but NXT, the American brand, as well as now they're bringing it to Monday Night Raw on Seth Rollins when Imperium interfere in the match, and ultimately Seth Rollins wins by disqualification. That sucks. The match would then go on to have Seth Rollins and the Street Profits come to his aid, and an unexpected guest, Kevin Owens, also as a babyface. I guess he's on Monday Night Raw still as a babyface. It would be a straight up 8-man tag team match between Imperium, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and the Street Profits. Ultimately, thanks to their brand supremacy of Monday Night Raw, Imperium gets their ass whooped and sent home. Also, in other news, I was wondering about this. If Brock Lesnar is going to represent the world title picture with the WWE title now on Monday Night Raw and is going to fight Rey Mysterio at Survivor Series, what does that leave for the NXT champion Adam Cole and Seth Rollins? Well, it was supposed to be The Fiend I was mentioning, but Seth Rollins was supposed to fight somebody, but I guess not.
Here's how I didn't tell you what they said, that they're just going to let him wrestle, but he's not going to be champion for NXT.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins, I was thinking he was still the champ. That's my fault. I was thinking he was still the champ.
They're not going to let that.
He's been a champ for such a while. I forgot.
So he's not going to let their pro wrestlers win NXT titles.
Yep. In which case, apparently, we already have what we've been waiting for. The male roster team going in Survivor Series. We would have Seth Rollins as the captain. Alongside him, we would have Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Ricochet, and there was another one. I think it's Bobby Lashley? No, I think it was somebody else.
Was it Shorty G?
No, that's SmackDown.
Okay.
I guess we'll look it up in just a second. It will pop up. Next up, we have Lana coming to the ring to issue a statement of her health condition and what's bugging her. The fact that she had just straight out said it's been 7 weeks since she first banged Bobby Lashley and that she's 9 weeks pregnant. And it goes on to pretty much saying that she's pregnant with Rusev's baby before she ever banged Bobby Lashley. And that she has a baby. She's complaining about her boobs getting bigger, her belly getting bigger. And Rusev it comes to the ring and is like confused. Like, he's like, wait a minute. This happened, and now this. Are you sure? And she goes on to say that, are you calling me a liar?
No, she's not putting her boobs. She's just saying about how she
mentioned her boobs and she mentioned her belly. Dude, I was paying attention.
Don't forget about the other part she mentioned. She mentioned about having stretch marks.
And she didn't want stretch marks.
Yeah.
That she knew that when you're pregnant, you're going to have stretch marks. She's saying the belly getting bigger. That's what she was mentioning.
That's what happens to women, bro.
Yeah, I know. In which case, we would then, what? Oh, you too, motherfucker. Don't just look at me, man. You got stretch marks too, motherfucker. Talking about my fat belly. You look who's talking. Look who's talking. Look who's talking. You got freaking love handles the size of donuts. Actually, thicker than donuts. I got a freaking spare tire over here. I got a freaking wagon tire. That's what it is.
Don't forget about one thing she mentioned.
Yeah. Okay. Squeeze it. Tap, tap.
Don't forget about one thing she mentioned. She mentioned about having wrinkles.
That is the least more important thing. I'm going to say that right now.
But women are
she was talking about her boobs getting bigger and her belly getting bigger.
But that's how some women are, bro.
Yeah. Well, the fact of the matter is, it would be him asking these questions and he would be interrupted by Bobby Lashley, gets knocked the hell out with her also attacking him, being Rusev, being attacked. And it's just straight up getting hit in the balls, this and that.
He wasn't ready.
Nope. He gets slapped, hit in the balls, and then comes to the stage where she ends up saying, I can't believe he thought I was pregnant. It was all a ruse just to stick it to Rusev once again. I'm like, damn, woman, what the hell? There you go. Open that up. I'm trying to remember who else was going to be on Team Raw. Here we go. We got Eric Rowan's match versus Sonner. This local talent, non-name, are going to be important. He comes with a carrier covered in a very dirty cloth, hiding something in there. And he left it on the announce table with the commentators, Jerry the King Lawler and whoever else. I'm still bad with names. And they said something was moving in there. And he didn't reveal what it was. So now he's going around walking, acting like Jake the Snake Roberts. He's got something in there. They don't know what. Usually for Jake the Snake, it says it itself. It's a snake. For him, Eric, something Rowan's, we don't know what he's going to have. Next up, we have, once again, the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Viking Raiders, fighting off local talents that they make quick work on. Oh, never mind. I am mistaken. I thought these guys, because they were skinny, that they were local talent. And then I scrolled down and I recognize them right off the bat. They are former NXT UK Tag Team Champions, Flash Morgan and Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. These guys are from Wales and they became tag team champions at NXT UK Takeover. I forget what the name it was, but it had the dragon freaking flag on. So I got to see that. I haven't seen up to date on NXT UK because it doesn't that much interest me, but I know that much. And they don't have the gold, meaning somebody took it. So I don't know who. Anyway, the fact that they lost to the Viking Raiders shows that the Viking Raiders are definitely the number one pick to win in the brand supremacy as far as the tag team goals are concerned. So the New Day, as well as Undisputed Era, good luck. Definitely voted for my boys in the New Day because they are on the blue brand. But can't say if they'll win. Not yet. Next up, we have, and this was at the beginning of the show, we would have, that's who was, Randy Orton is going to be a part of Team Raw. That's right. So I know Randy Orton We got Kevin Owens, I saw for sure, and Seth Rollins leading the group, and Drew McIntyre on the other side of the corner. I'm trying to figure out if it's Ricochet or somebody else. We would have Ricochet as well as Humberto Carrillo end up having an argument with AJ Styles and the OCs, saying that this is their turf, get out. Right when Ricochet was having an argument or conversation with Randy Orton. And apparently Randy's name came out of AJ Styles' mouth. I knew what that was going to come, because Randy Orton came up, stepped up, and said that it was going to be him, Humberto, Ricochet versus the OCs that night. Sure enough, it would be Ricochet, who literally has to tell Randy that he knows that he's just looking to try and RKO him, and he's not going to take his eyes off him, which he doesn't. But in that match, Randy Orton looks like he's going to RKO Ricochet right there in the middle of the ring with AJ Styles behind him. But instead of RKOing him, he quickly turns around and then boom, hits AJ Styles, Chris Petrie's boy, with the RKO, and ultimately giving Ricochet the tag to hit him with the splash and get the win for his team. Ricochet is then confronted with Randy Orton once again in the middle of the ring, and you can hear him say, I'll do what I want, when I want. And ain't nobody that's going to stop me, because there's always going to be an RKO. You can hear that without no microphones. So Raw's team is already assembled, but we do not have information on who's going to fight representing NXT or SmackDown as of yet. So that will probably be mentioned tonight on SmackDown Live, if not next week, for both NXT and SmackDown Live. So that's going to be interesting. Okay, go ahead and look up November 13th for NXT, my brother. And while he does that, a shout out to the remaining Heaven's Monsters podcast members, Xavier Hill, Mike Henry, and Andre Mitchell. A link to their YouTube pages will be in the descriptions down below as always. And a remaining shout out to Renee, Pharaoh, Chris Petrie, and Delvin. Hot coffee. Let me see if it cooled down. Yeah, buddy. We'll be right back. And we're back. And before we get to NXT on November 13th, I might have said 18th by accident. My bad. Because he was looking for the 18th. I was like, wait, what? Backstage Pass. Not bad. Backstage Pass. That's what they used to call, used to have a show like that on NXT Network. WWE Network. Yeah. See, I'm all sorts of messed up today. Anyway, the fact is, on WWE Backstage on Fox Sports channel FS1, or mine is FSH, but that's what you see on the bottom, like right here, advertised on the channel. So, which case, ladies and gentlemen, they would have their fun, and I love this show. I really do. I love when they do this. They have actual talk downs. They had interviews with the wrestlers. They do this. They mention this. They go on this. They go history lessons with Mick Foley this time. And they have NXT champion Adam Cole as a guest, as well as Samoa Joe, who's still injured. And his update is confirmed that he's still got a couple of months. And it's just, and they had Fluffy on promos. They were showing him, doing him promos on him on what if he was a wrestler? How would he come in and talk down? His opponent was Samoa Joe, and that was just fun. Fluffy was fun, man. They gave him the best ratings. And another thing is the fact that we had Hall of Famers Mick Foley and Booker T give their picks on who they said. It was Samoa Joe and Adam Cole in that list, and Paige was pissed at both of them. She came back and started beating them up. They even mentioned, and we got a history lesson on Mick Foley's ear that fell off, and the one who was mentioning it, because he was there backstage when it happened as a rookie, Booker T. I love that. I love this. I love this kind of information.
No, he wasn't there.
Yes, he was. He just said it.
No, I'm talking about when it happened.
Yeah, when it happened.
No, when that happened, he was in WCW.
He's mentioning the history. He didn't say where. He didn't say. Maybe he did.
But
I'm not mentioning where it was. It wasn't WWE. I didn't say it wasn't WWE. Okay. I'm saying a history lesson, my brother, on wrestling in general. That was funny. But the biggest shocker of that show was at the very end when one of the main hosts, Renee Young, is actually saying that in WWE they love always surprising the cast and whatever, even the hosts, just to make a fan of wrestling again. And this I saw when I was coming home, and I mentioned to you guys I was going to watch it, and I did, and I still can't believe it. Ladies and gentlemen, coming and debuting, actually just straight up returning. That's a conversation. The return on WWE backstage, making his appearance for real. They played his music. He showed up. CM Punk is back in WWE. Dude, what the hell? We right back. He actually said, just when you think they have all the questions, I change the culture. See you next week. Oh, damn. This is interesting. What the hell is going on?
They don't call it WWE Backstage. They call it WWFS.
No, they call it WWE Backstage. You go under the search bar, you type in WWE, and watch how WWE Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Backstage.
What's it?
I'll show you later. But actually, you can look when you're done here. But anyway, we got NXT, because this is a speed run. His ride's coming. On November 13th. And this is a proper, because here we go. We have the NXT Cruiserweight Championship on the line with Lio Rush defending his title against Angel Garza. And damn, Angel Garza put Lio Rush through the ringer. Damn. I thought Lio Rush was out. He had him with his signature, and Lio Rush got out, and Lio Rush ended up almost getting hit with the avalanche version of that move and ended up winning the match, defending his title against Angel Garza.
Course, how can you think Lio Rush is out? He ain't fighting no big wrestler.
No. But Angel Garza's pretty damn skilled. He comes from a long lineage of the Garza's families. Next up, we have a women's match of Lee? It's a Chinese wrestler. Zhang Li versus Aaliyah?
Yeah.
And in that match, there was major controversy thanks to the clip I was showing last time and the woman with a bloody face, because she won the match by roundhouse kicking her in the face, pinning her, got the win, and apparently her face was all bloody. She busted her nose. She busted her nose.
I'm sure something happened for many years, brother.
I gotta find a better words. It was a mad bet. We would then have Finn Balor come out of the ring talking smack about what was going on, especially with Matt Riddles. Matt Riddles comes into the ring to jump him and pretty much just beats him up, and then Undisputed Era comes in and surrounds Matt Riddles. And he has help from Tommaso Ciampa and Keith Lee, and they all get jumped by Undisputed Era. With the unsuspecting help, I kind of called it. Damian Dozovic helps and puts his hand and puts his name in the War Games for Saturday, tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. I don't think it's the night before Survivor Series. And here's the thing. Matt Riddles was already a name in that battle with Keith Lee and Tommaso Ciampa, but now he's taken out so he can fight Finn Balor one-on-one at NXT TakeOver War Games. So now they have to look for somebody else with Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, and Dominic Dozovic. I'm calling it right now. It's Velveteen Dream. He got jumped by all four members of the Disputed Era when he was supposed to fight Roderick Strong for the North American Championship. He's going to fight. He's going to show up. He's going to show up.
What if it's someone else?
I'll say that it might be somebody else, but that's who I think it is. Just for storyline credibility. In that moment, we have Keith Lee calling out Roderick Strong, and Keith Lee gets that match and defeats Roderick Strong, even with the outside interference of the Undisputed Era, and Undisputed Era jumps his ass. And that's when Roderick Strong, Dominic Dozovic shows up and shakes his hand, and even shakes Keith Lee's hand. You know, the guy that looks like you, or you like him, or you look alike. What wanna do? Take your glasses off. Smile. Keith Lee, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna keep doing that. Next up, we have Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed loses that match, but shakes hands with Isaiah Swerve Scott. Next up, we have, and for the record, in this whole beginning of the show, throughout the whole show of NXT, somebody is literally taking out woman after woman after woman after woman after woman on NXT of the babyface team of Rhea Ripley's War Game. For the first time ever, we're going to have a 8-woman War Games match featuring the women. And again, it's the women's evolution, whatever you call it. Damian Priest then shows up because this match was supposed to be Killian Dane versus Pete Dove. And we're getting foggy for some reason. Hello. Okay. And Damian Priest jumps Killian Dane. Ultimately, it ends in the match doesn't even happen. It's just Damian Priest owning these two guys with security. Damian Priest beats up 2 security guards, throwing one of them into them, and Killian Dane and Pete Dove are just beating the hell each other. The last one standing is Damian Priest. So, will we have a triple threat match at NXT War Games between those two? I bet we will. I bet you we will. Do you think? Hell yeah, this is going to be fun. Finally, we have a match that determines the beneficial of who's going in first, because we would have like 1 members of each team going in for the War Games, and then the other 3 members of each team will come out one by one to get the edge. Only once all members are in does the War Games match officially start, and the pinfalls will count. And one pinfall determines all. It's not elimination rules. So this is fun. In this match between Io Shirai and Mia Yim, in a ladder match, would be a briefcase that determines who gets the rights to come out first before the other. The heel team or the babyface team of Rhea Ripley or Shayna Baszler. In this match, this was a beautiful match of ladder match proportions. They were whipping each other's asses. All these women, I love them. Thank you. Thank you. That was a good match. But is interrupted by an unknown assailant. And then I got the privilege to see her winning the title, because it would be the other NXT Women's Champion of the UK. God damn it, where is she? Where's her name? It's Jenny something. Jenny. It's not mentioned here. Damn it. Jenny. Jinny. Jenny something. I'm not good with names. I'm trying to remember. Why is it not highlighted in blue like all the others other names?
Because she's not important.
Yeah, I'll tell you that much. No, she's not. I don't even see her face. In this freaking WWE app, they would have her face show up. Not this time. Anyway, ultimately, it was questionable on who would be the fourth woman to be on Shayna Baszler's team. So it would be Shayna Baszler, Bianca Belair, and Io Shirai on the heel face team. We now have our answer on who's been jumping the women throughout that show, as well as who would be the fourth woman. It would be Jenny, the NXT UK Women's Champion. So now with that said, Shayna Baszler ends up seen as, thanks to Jenny, who took out Mia Yim from getting the freaking briefcase to give her babyface team the edge in the War Game match. It would be Io Shirai with an injured arm who would get the briefcase with the help of Jenny to get the heel team of Shayna Baszler's team to get the edge and the bonus points going into War Games. As Shayna Baszler raises her titles and looks on with pride, Bayley, the SmackDown Women's Champion, shows up to finally stick it to Shayna Baszler after all the time that she's been getting knocked down and jumped by Shayna Baszler week after week after week. 2 weeks on SmackDown, 1 time on Raw, which we just covered. She hits her with a chair and woo! Last woman standing at the end of that show is Bayley. Because the other 2 women in the ring could have come into her aid. They didn't want none. Mm-hmm. Bayley holding that chair up, showing that she's showing blue blood. Because that's what they do. They bleed blue when they're showing red and...
They just do that when that means that...
No, there wasn't actually blood. It was just, I'm just using the reference. Because that's what they did last year. Xavier Woods, even Baron Corbin at the time, before he was King Corbin, said they bleed blue. That's what they.
That's more like making an impact. That's what they call it, bro. When they beat on someone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got that right. And that would be the end of the show. And damn, man, damn. Also, in that match, Mia Yim would be busted open from the ladder and is bleeding, and she's still fighting in that match. So we would have an injured arm, Io Shirai, and a busted open face of Mia Yim. Already, one member on each team is heavily damaged going in. And I can't even speak for the rest of the members of the babyface team, of Rhea Ripley's team, for War Games. This is just crazy, man. I love it. Sadly to say, I'm saying this now because I saw it before he even mentioned it. Thanks to Full Gear. I was just doing this and it hit the table. I'm okay. It didn't hurt me. Full Gear pay-per-view ended up, and the next episode afterwards would get the ratings higher than ever. And sadly, the ratings for NXT dropped for WWE. So, despite what I just mentioned, if you think what I just mentioned is crazy enough, wait till you see next Monday when we cover Full Gear and this week's episode, Wednesday, of All Elite Wrestling. Any anything to say? Last words?
They just announced they're going to bring back a classic match they had back in WCW days.
What?
Called the dog collar match.
Ooh, I remember that. I watched that when Raven and blonde-headed CM Punk were fighting that match. And I think it was Ring of Honor DVD that my boy Chris Petrie gave me to watch.
It was more like you get the person has to wear the dog collar.
And it's a chain. And you whip each other with it.
No, it's not exactly a chain.
Yeah, it's a chain.
No, theirs is different from
okay.
You just wear like
There's a strap?
Well, you have to wear the it's like you have to wear the dog collar.
Yeah, and you connect it to the other wrestler.
It's
a dog collar match.
Well, actually, the loser has to wear it.
See, their rules are different. That's not what I'm used to. That's not the originating dog collar match.
Oh, that is.
Anyway, that'll be it for our show, ladies and gentlemen. If you liked this episode, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Hit the subscription bell for the next. Yeah, I'm going to have fun. I just saw it. I hit the full size. So I'm going to have to split and then combine this so it's all in one again. Sorry. Like I was saying, hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell for the next Heaven Monsters podcast. So, taking this into consideration, man. You know what? Let's go ahead and mention this before your rag calls in. Who do you want to see on Team SmackDown? We already have Team Raw. I want to see Braun Strowman representing, of course, Roman Reigns. And I hate to say it, King Corbin.
I'm a Team Raw.
I know. Other names for Team SmackDown that I know are not going to be title picture. That's a good one. Luke Harper? He's on SmackDown. I haven't seen him yet, but he's on SmackDown. We know that much. Daniel Bryan. Because I know if they're not going to have a title match for the NXT title on Survivor Series, Adam Cole is no doubt going to represent the team leading over there. Unless it's Tommaso Ciampa. As far as damn, after freaking NXT War Games, I have no idea who's going to represent for Team NXT. It could be Tommaso Ciampa, it could be Adam Cole, and I don't even know if they're going to even be able to fight each other because they're going to war with each other the night before.
Oh, and let's just say the Universal Belt, we're getting a new look.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be that freaking image we showed last time.
Oh.
And they showed it. You know what? Let's go ahead and show it. Let's go ahead. Can I scroll down? There you go. Wait for it. Yep, it's blue. Called it. I called it. And who else knew? Everybody knew. Who am I kidding?
You said the championship, bro. You didn't say anything about Universal Belt.
Yeah, Universal Belt. Yeah. It's going to Raw.
No, you said the first thing you said the championship.
I thought it would turn red, but no. And then I thought about it. No, I got to keep it black. I said the WWE Universal Belt because if it's going to SmackDown, it's changing from red to blue for sure, and it did. But I would have liked Bray Wyatt's Crow Wasteland looking Destroy World title. I would have loved it.
They said if he was Bray Wyatt instead of Fiend, he would hadn't done that.
I would like to have seen a Fiend version. So going on that, yeah, I'm trying to think of who could be on Team NXT unless they just straight up put Undisputed Era and Finn Balor. That wouldn't be necessarily a bad thing. That'd be 5 people with the NXT champion representing the NXT team for Survivor Series. Then they could just mash it up. Say, for instance, Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole. We got Damian Priest, Pete Dunne. Hell, they can even put the other NXT champion, Walter, in that team. And there you go. That's just one example, but I don't know. This guy hates Matt Riddle. He likes Finn Balor, so I already know you're going for Finn Balor versus Matt Riddle. Yeah, you're going for Finn Balor.
I don't like wrestlers who don't know, who don't want to listen, talk track about legends.
Yeah, because Matt Riddle's been having beef with. There you go. With Goldberg,
Chris Jericho, Booker T, and Lance Storm.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he mentioned all of them, their names on his
Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter.
You got it right. Social media. Yeah. Twitter. Man, you're foggy.
And
hey, he needs to focus on you.
He said that if him and Goldberg would wrestle, he would beat Goldberg.
I want to see that.
And,
that's gotta happen. Goldberg's still contracted.
And all the fans said that Matt Riddle has no chance against Goldberg because Goldberg is a monster.
True, but he's old. In his prime, yeah.
That's what Matt Riddle said. If he was in Goldberg's in his prime, he would have beat him.
Nah. Even I know that Goldberg is a beast
because he killed wrestlers with that jackhammer and that spear.
Hell, just freaking tackling him regularly. But give it to Matt Riddle. He knows how to fight, but I wouldn't say it. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, SmackDown, I'm still thinking who else? Cesaro. That's right. Cesaro would definitely be a good pick for Team SmackDown. Because we also have Shinsuke Nakamura, and he's teaming up with Sami Zayn, but that will be for the mid-titles between Shinsuke Nakamura on SmackDown, Roderick Strong on NXT, and AJ Styles on Monday Night Raw. So, Cesaro would definitely be a good pick, along with Roman Reigns, King Corbin, and Braun Strowman. Definitely Braun Strowman. Bring him! Bring Braun Strowman onto that team. Come on. Last pick. I don't want somebody like Shorty G or Ali. I'm saying that right now. They would not be. It would be interesting, but not good. Not good.
It wouldn't be good because they might lose. They could lose.
Shoot. The last person is Daniel Bryan. That's what I'm thinking. Because unless they have somehow, some way, the Fiend in that match, which
Hello?
His rides here as a last thought. If they had the Fiend in that match for representing SmackDown team, it would be way too overpowered. Because he's literally took 8 shots of the freaking curve stomp and still stood. Or was it 6? No, it was 8.
But here's the thing. They probably won't use him in those matches. They probably use him for something different.
Mm-hmm. So it would have to be Daniel Bryan, who already has beef, courtesy of him losing to Adam Cole. That's my best pick. So correct me if I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen. If anything, because if they don't mention it tonight, when we come home to see SmackDown, or next week, I'm calling it. It's going to be Roman Reigns leading the team with Braun Strowman, King Corbin, and they're going to have feud. They're going to have a feud, and it's going to probably cost them at freaking. And then you got Daniel Bryan and maybe Luke Harper.
We didn't mention who was on NXT.
I did.
No, the Scarlett Bordeaux was on NXT.
Scarlett Bordeaux.
The smoke show. Remember that? Yeah.
Why didn't you mention it right now? Mention it right now.
Scarlett Bordeaux was on NXT, where she was backstage checking on one of the, I think it was a female, was it a female wrestler who was her?
I don't know. You tell me. I didn't hear nothing about that.
She was when she was outside with all the other wrestlers.
Yeah, I think you said something that she was spotted at WWE Performance Center, right?
Yeah, she was wrestling there.
So that's interesting. Scarlett Bordeaux, considering all the controversy that she would never be in WWE because of her sexuality gimmick, I think she's changing it so she can be in WWE. Or maybe they'll keep it. I have no idea. I don't know.
People say that she should have gone.
I don't know.
People say that she should have gone to AEW.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. At least on AEW, on TNT, you can cuss your mouth off.
Yeah.
So
I think she should have gone to AEW, but hey, she want that money.
Yeah, we already said thumbs up, thumbs down if you like this video or not. Yeah. So I guess that'll be it. Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah.